Welcome to our next lesson in the concurrency series. So in the last video, I said that we do not return any values from the Go routines. Okay. So one question that you might have is, so what happens if I want to communicate some result to another Go routine or to main, which is also a Go routine? So if you want to pass back data, if you want to exchange data between Go routines, then Go provides us with the idea of a channel. Okay. So let me demonstrate this. So let's say, well, I have main. And I want to get some data from some Go routine. So let's say I have a Go routine and I'm going to call it sender. Okay. And it sends back some data. So it sends back the value 42. Okay, so how do I do that? How do I ensure that 42 is sent back to main, given that I cannot have a return statement in sender? Well, to do that, I will use a channel. So I will create a channel and I will tell the Go routine, okay, Go routine, sender, if you want to communicate with me, you need to communicate with me using this channel. So to create a channel, let's call this channel age. Let's say we want to pass back age. We say make, and then we use the keyword chan, and then we say what type of data the channel will be used to pass. In our case, let's use an int. So this channel will pass int values. So once I have this channel, I will call my Go routine. So let's just say Go sender. So now sender is a Go routine, and I will simply pass age. So age will be the channel that sender will use to transmit the data. So here, of course, I have to say that this is a channel. It accepts a channel. Okay, so sender expects to receive a channel of type int that it will use to communicate. Okay, so let's send back the data. So when you want to put data into the channel, that's the first thing you got to do. So step 1, so put data into the channel. And how do you do that? Well, you put the name of the channel, value, and then you put a less than sign, a dash, and then you put what you want to put into the channel on the right hand side. Okay, so I want to put 42 into this channel. Okay, so I'm reading it from the right hand side. So I put 42 into the value channel. So that means that age, which is our channel, let me not confuse you, let me call it value too. Okay, so I'm going to call it value just not to confuse you. Okay, but they're the same thing. Okay, so value is simply the channel. Okay, so value in main, the main Go routine, will have what was put into it by sender. So now the question is, how do I get that value out of the channel? And so to do that, we'll simply, let's call it step 2. We're going to get data from the channel. Okay. And by the way, when you put data onto the channel, we can say we write data to the channel. And when we get data from the channel, we say we read data from the channel. All right? Okay. So how do I get data from the channel? Well, I will simply create a variable, and then I will say that this less than dash and the name of the channel. Okay, so again, reading from the right hand side, I will look into the channel, I will take what is in there, and I will assign it to this variable called result. And so now I can do something like fmt.print result. Okay, and let's run it. And we get back 42. Now there's another way to, if you don't have to save the result into a variable. Okay, so I could have done this. I could have simply said value. Okay, so you might see something like this, which will give me the same result. However, in this example, it's cleaner if we actually save it in a variable first. All right, good. Now, there's one thing to remember, there's one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at channels. Channels block. What do I mean by that? So when sender places this 42 into this value channel, it blocks, meaning it stops doing everything else. So if I have code on line 9, that code will not be executed because sender blocks. So whenever a GoRoutine puts something on the channel, whenever it writes to the channel, whenever it sends to the channel, it waits, it blocks. We say it blocks. Nothing else gets done. Okay? Now, this is a GoRoutine, right? So it blocks. Main is also a GoRoutine. And so what main will do, main will receive that data from the channel. And when line 17 gets executed in the main GoRoutine, then it means that sender will unblock. So sender will continue. If there was other code here, for example, fmt that print something like goodbye, something like that, then this will be executed. All right, because sender has now unblocked. So when you put something on the channel, you will wait until somebody takes it off of the channel. Okay, and so likewise, the receiver will also block. So the receiver will block until something is written to the channel. Okay, so let me show you an example of that. Okay, let's say I decided I uncomment this, right? Now, nothing is written to the channel, but here I have my main GoRoutine waiting for something to be put on the channel. But as we know, sender is not putting anything on the channel. So you will notice that this GoRoutine blocks because it's waiting. Okay, let's see that. And if it's blocked and waiting, then basically we come to a screeching halt and nothing else will get done. Okay, and so Go tells us that. All right, it says fatal error, all Go routines are asleep. Okay, it's deadlock. So the main Go routine, it has blocked. It is waiting. Okay, so we say it's asleep. And it's waiting for sender to send something. But sender is not sending anything. And so the program can never proceed. All right. All right. Good. So that is our problem right there. Just wanted to show you that when you send something, you block until somebody receives it. And another flip side, you will block until somebody sends you something. Okay, so that's how we communicate or how we perform communication between different Go routines in a program. Okay, in a program. So again, you put something on the channel and you wait. And then in the main Go routine, you wait until something is put on the channel and then you read it. And so once you read it, then the sender will unblock, continue to do what it needs to do, and then main will continue doing what it needs to do, all right, such as executing line 18. All right, so that's just an introduction to channels, to synchronization. There's a lot more that we will cover, but this is the first step. I'll see you in the next one.